In 1987, I came to visit my brother, who was in the British Army and stationed here in Berlin. Hello. He's a very friendly dog. Hello. Hello, hello.
Berlin topu getir. Topu getir Berlin.
There were dogs back in the day here. Right here. 250 of them. They were guard dogs, along with about 300 watchtowers, about 79 kilometers of fences, and 45,000 slabs of concrete that separated east from west. An obvious symbol of what Winston Churchill called the Iron Curtain that separated Europe. Anyway, my brother and I spent most of the weekend getting drunk, but we did go for a walk along the wall, and it had a bit of an effect on me that stayed with me. I haven't been back since. That was 30 odd years ago. It was covered in graffiti then, as it is now. Some of it was really good as well. Symbols of freedom. And as we walked along, we came across something I didn't expect. It was a wooden platform that you could climb up and you could see over the wall, over to the other side. And on the other side, you were looking straight up a street, completely empty, quite unlike the streets on the west side. And after a while, around a corner came two girls, and they walked towards us down the street, straight at us, and they were a long way away. And after a while, we waved at them, and they waved back, and then they turned into an apartment building, and they were gone. An eerie feeling. They might as well have been on the moon. Anyway, I want to try and find that street. So I went to the tourist information place in Berlin, and the lady there marked on this map where the wall used to be. And she drew it on there in pink highlighter pen. This is where the wall used to be, and this is Checkpoint Charlie. And I know that we walked along the wall in this direction, and we came across that viewing point just before we got to Checkpoint Charlie. So I reckon, I'm pretty sure that this is the road here. I'm going to go and take a look, because that's the only one that goes straight away from the border, from where the old wall was. So that's what I'm going to go and take a look at today. So I've got the train, the underground, to here, the Checkpoint Charlie station. I'm going to try and find where the original Checkpoint Charlie was. So this was the original crossing point, the only crossing point between east and west. Okay, this is it. It's now a tourist thing. There's a souvenir place on the other side where you can buy bits of the wall. They even sell it by the kilo. Loose bits of the wall by the kilo. Anyway, obviously the wall is gone as of that wonderful day, 10th of November 1989, when they tore it down. The checkpoint itself, obviously very different. What I remember was, it didn't look like you could get through hardly. There was just concrete barriers and walls and fences and people with guns, you know. It looked pretty intimidating back in the day. So there's Checkpoint Charlie over there. The wall itself would have run along here, where these pictures are now. So this whole street here is new. All the buildings on it look new. That makes sense, because this side was the wall, and this side, from my memory, was all open so that military vehicles, this was the American sector. West Berlin was divided into 3 sectors, American, British and French, after the war. So this here was all full of scary looking military vehicles and equipment. Okay, I think this is it. I think this is the street I'm looking for. This green building behind me and this one, that was where the wall was. So the wall would have run here. If I had climbed over it, I would have probably been shot by now. This area here, really wide, the length of this block. There was fences. I think there was a fence around here. There were big tall guard towers between the fences about here. And there was another fence further up there. It looks like the buildings that I remember are gone. These buildings are new here, up the other side of here. And here we are. I've crossed no man's land. Actually, this building here, this looks like the sort of building I really remember. This. The other side of the road is new, but this is where I saw those girls. And as I was wandering along, I couldn't help but notice this. Escape Challenge Berlin. Be part of the action. It's all just a game now, I suppose. Whereas once upon a time it was all very different. The remarkable thing is that despite all the incredibly intense security, something like about 500 people did escape over the war. And of course this has been a trivial, if slightly emotional, journey for me. It's been pretty cathartic. But my story is trivial compared to the story of those 2 girls. Thank God the wall came down only 2 years after that time. It would have changed their lives irrevocably. Oh, look at this. Wow. Take a look at this. This is what I could have seen. Oh, wow. What is it? They're 2 absolutely breathtaking, beautiful churches. I dare say these would have been a bit neglected back in the day. The communists didn't think much of religious buildings, but they're certainly getting a bit of TLC now. Can I get a cappuccino, please? Thank you. Thank you, Shane. When I looked from the other side of the wall, everything looked really drab and boring, but it turns out those 2 girls, they had these 2 beautiful churches just at the end of their streets. And the communists, they tried to eradicate history, really, particularly with regard to religion, but the weight of history was too much, and this still remains, this baroque beauty. Yeah, lovely. I'm going to walk the other way now. And that's the real direction that is symbolic of what people couldn't do back in the day. They couldn't go from east to west. So let's go for one final stroll. And in fact, I've just realised that there is a marker here on the street, and it's these cobblestones that runs right down the road. Because here we have this Berliner Mauer, that means Berlin Wall, 1961 to 1989. Now I suppose people cross the street every day. I wonder if they realise what they're doing. Just how lucky they are.